While I was working on the Mustang's rear end bearings, I realized the outer axle seals weren't in the greatest condition. So let's replace those now. So here's the new parts we'll be installing. 2 seals and 2 bearings. We're doing the bearings because there's really not much extra work once we're in there to do the seals. There's only a few tools you'll need: a 19mm socket, an impact or ratchet, a 15mm box end wrench, a 13mm socket, a chisel and hammer, an 18mm wrench, a seal puller, and a seal bearing driver kit. First off, jack up the rear of the car and remove the rear wheels and brake calipers. The calipers can be hung on the lower control arms. Then remove the brake rotor. Remove the bolts for the rear differential cover and use the chisel to break the seal. Best to have some sort of pan to catch all the gear fluid that comes out. Rotate the center section until the bolt for the center pin is visible. Use the 8mm wrench to remove the bolt, then the pin should slide out freely. Push in on the axle flanges and use the magnet on a stick to pull out the C-clips. Then pull the axles out and set them aside. Use the seal puller and pry out the old seals. A long screwdriver could also be used in place of the seal puller. The best way to remove this bearing is with a slide hammer. I first attempted to use an end piece that came with the slide hammer kit. Didn't work very well. So then I went and rented the actual axle bearing puller that attaches to the slide hammer. So much simpler. Clean off the bearing landings and make sure it is free of any burrs. Then use the appropriate size driver to push the bearing into place. The fully installed position is a fully seated against the inside lip. Use the same driver kit to push in the outer seal. This seal does not have to press against the bearing face. It only needs to be flush or slightly inset of the axle tube face. Reinstall the axles, the C-clips, the differential cover with new sealant, brakes, and the tires. Don't forget to refill the differential with fluid. Then take a test drive to check for any leaks.